Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Caitlin Clark's influence forces ESPN to acknowledge her WNBA power. The WNBA is enjoying a historic rise in popularity, and no one has fueled it quite like Caitlin Clark. Even when sidelined by injury, her presence continues to drive headlines and viewership. This season, WNBA ratings spiked by 21% overall. But notably, during a 5-game stretch where Clark was out, ratings plummeted by 55%. The moment she returned, a stunning 2.8 million viewers tuned in. Until recently, ESPN appeared hesitant to fully acknowledge Clark's influence. Fans called out the network earlier this year after it released draft comparison graphics that skipped over 2024, Clark's record-breaking draft class. That only deepened the perception that ESPN was downplaying her impact. But the narrative appears to be shifting. Veteran guard Sophie Cunningham, now hosting the unfiltered podcast, Show Me Something, reignited the conversation. Speaking candidly, she acknowledged what many have speculated, which is that some WNBA players had targeted Clark with excessive physicality. "I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room," Cunningham said. "We're going to show her what the W really is." While all rookies face tough play, Cunningham noted that Clark's treatment seemed unusually harsh. ESPN analyst Ramona Shelburne added perspective. "Some of that is just hazing," she said. "But some of it is exactly what Sophie said." Shelburne also praised Cunningham for emerging as Clark's unofficial enforcer, citing a recent clash with J.C. Sheldon as an example. When Sheldon pushed Clark to the ground, Cunningham answered with a hard foul of her own, and both players were ejected. ESPN begins to recognize Clark's true role. Now, ESPN voices are publicly labeling Clark as the most marketable name in women's basketball. Some have even compared her impact on the WNBA to the cultural and commercial shifts brought by Michael Jordan and LeBron James in the NBA. The network, long accused of treading carefully around Clark's growing stardom, appears to be realigning its coverage. Still, Clark's on-court availability remains uncertain. She has missed over half of the Indiana Fever's games this season due to lingering quad and groin injuries. Despite this, her numbers remain strong, averaging 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game. However, her shooting has suffered, particularly on the road, where she's made just 2 of 35 three-point attempts this season. The Fever, holding a 14-12 record, have managed to stay competitive thanks to Aaliyah Boston's double-doubles and Kelsey Mitchell's leadership. But there's no doubt, when Clark returns, both the team and the league will benefit. And this time, even ESPN might be ready to give her the spotlight she's earned. The catalyst, breaking through the noise microphone. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped into the spotlight at Iowa University, she carried with her an inevitability, a blend of record-shattering performance and magnetic charisma. The NCAA ascension story culminated in the 2024 National Championship game, drawing 18.9 million viewers, making it the most-watched women's basketball game ever, eclipsing the men's final. Her influence was hailed as the GOAT of TV ratings by the Wall Street Journal. San Francisco Chronicle, +15. Time, +15. YouTube, +15. Wikipedia. ESPN, perhaps reluctantly at first, began to notice. Ratings records were broken not just in college, but carried into the WNBA draft telecast, 2.45 million viewers, and her debut game, the most-watched WNBA match on cable networks in decades. Wikipedia. The Clark Effect. It's real and it's monetary money bag. The term Caitlin Clark Effect was coined for good reason. As a rookie with the Indiana Fever, she not only rewrote box scores, but redefined the economics of the league. The Fever saw home crowds average over 17,000, beating the Pacers on a per-game attendance basis. Wikipedia. Her impact included rising merchandise and ticket sales, record-breaking broadcast viewership across ESPN platforms, spike in prop and moneyline bets, with sportsbooks reporting 150% plus year-over-year growth in WNBA handle. FrontoFFICSports.com. +12. Wikipedia. +12. Wikipedia. +12. The Sun. +15. ESPN.com, plus 15. Reddit, plus 15. From betting engines to fan engagement, Clark sparked an ecosystem. As her agent noted, it's not possible to fully compensate Clark for what she's meant to the WNBA. The Times of India, plus 7. ESPN.com, plus 7. FrontoFFICSports.com, plus 7. ESPN's reluctant U-turn. Despite the surging numbers, ESPN initially clung to its familiar narrative that the WNBA wasn't a big business product. Internally, there were missed opportunities. In 2025, ESPN skipped the 2024 WNBA draft, the most-watched draft in league history led by Clark. Yahoo Sports, plus 1. Wikipedia, plus 1. When Clark ranked 9th among all-star guards in a player vote, a surprising slight, legendary broadcaster Dick Vitale publicly denounced the media's treatment, citing jealousy from other players and applauding Clark's box office value. Fox News, plus 1. FrontoFFICSports.com, plus 1. As Front Office Sports documented, Clark's defenders started using words like Michael Jordan-esque importance to refer to her influence on TV ratings, ticket sales, and league investment, citing she helped attract charter flight funding, fueled upcoming CBA negotiations, and shifted bargaining power within the WNBA. FrontoFFICSports.com. Pressures, reversals, and public apologies. Eventually, ESPN's editorial approach shifted from passive to active recognition. They began promoting fever games headlined with Clark, broadening coverage across ESPN2, ION, ABC, and NBA TV based on her star power. Wikipedia. ESPN anchors and pundits, including Dick Vitale and others, used platforms to defend Clark and publicly denounce perceived disrespect from peers in the WNBA. FrontoFFICSports.com. The shift was not just tone, but resource allocation. The network invested in games Clark played, spotlight interviews, and human interest storytelling. Cultural ripple effects rocket. The beyond-the-court influence has been profound. New fans and demographics have entered the ecosystem, many motivated initially by Clark's brand, as echoed in Reddit threads. This is the first time I've ever paid attention to the WNBA because of Caitlin. The Sun, plus 3. Reddit, plus 3. TalkSport, plus 3. Candace Parker and other former stars called out the media for finally valuing women's sports, crediting Clark with pulling networks into full visibility mode for the WNBA. People.com. Clark herself has begun shaping narratives beyond highlight plays, executive producing ESPN Plus content, influencing how women's basketball is framed in human terms. The Sun. Creative narrative, the memory game. Imagine a newsroom as a grand chessboard, ESPN's brass waving cautious pawns, reluctant to overinvest in women's basketball. Then enters Clark, a queen in velvet sneakers and a deadly three-point touch. She storms the board, flipping scores and demographics. For weeks, ESPN ignored her, but the numbers wouldn't lie. Ratings soared, stadiums sold out, advertisers paid attention.